Buenas a todos, soy Los Ratero, bienvenidos a mi canal. Estamos en The Older World. Voy a ponerme un temporizador porque si no los vídeos se van a hacer muy largos. Es un mundo nuevo que quiero explorar. Voy a jugar muy chill out. En plan, no voy a centrarme a pasarme la historia y demás como hago normalmente con los juegos así. Me voy a poner 25 minutos temporizador y vamos a continuar. Estoy jugando en el modo extremo, por así decirlo. No recuerdo cómo se llamaba en este juego, pero tengo que comer, beber, dormir, matar gente y ese tipo de cosas y no morir. Venga, así que hay que ir con cuidado, hay que tomar decisiones inteligentes. No hay que arriesgar. Vamos a continuar con la misión principal. Vale. Completadas y demás. Vale, tengo un poco de sed, pero bueno. Vamos a salir de la nave. Está el teniente aquí que tiene un problema.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay.
Estás muy equivocado. Vamos a mentirle. Vamos a probar a mentirle. Soy inspectora de seguridad.
Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Cuídate. Pringa. Se lo ha tragado. Venga. ¿Un volcán? ¿Es un volcán? Ahí tiene como una aurora boreal. Vale. Es de noche. Allí hay como un campamento. Tenía nuevas armas, no, en inventario. Vale. Una escopeta. Hay algo ahí delante. Hay un perro y 3 señores. Toma sigilo. No me he acostumbrado. Vale. Son duros, Vamos a cargarla otra vez. Vamos a cargarla, hablamos otra vez rápido. Estaba probando. Y no lo he matado de un escopetazo, no lo he matado, No me lo creo, pero bueno. Vamos a ir rápido a la conversación.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it?
Sí.
Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay. Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Vale. Cuídate. Vendetta. Vamos a ir con la pistola de largo alcance. Porque he ido con la de corto alcance y no ha sido buena idea. Igual debería haber usado. Venga, vamos a poner la escopeta. Vale, vamos a saquear este campamento. Mineros. Piezas de armadura. Aquí ratas que han acumulado. Yo he matado a uno por aquí. No, debería estar el cuerpo aquí. Inventaria minera. Venga. Ay. Vamos por aquí al otro cadáver. Munición y un rifle de caza. O sea, worth it totalmente. Yo no sabía esto, pero ha sido muy worth it. Esto se va afuera. Tenemos un rifle. Tenemos un puto rifle. Sí, señor. Sí, señor. Vale. Tenemos que ir hacia el este. Vale. Esto es el cementerio.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend.
Mi causa se estrelló.
Your pod? What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium? Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls. And low prices.
Vale.
I'm being vigilant. Don't want to get blindsided by some corpse-chewing marauder come stalking out the shadows. Oh, worse. Unemployed cannibals. You ever seen a marauder hold down a job? Or put a stake into society? Well, if you're gonna go headhunting, talk to Constable Reyes back in town. She pays for marauders by the finger.
Por cierto.
Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family.
Quiero ganar dinero. Me interesa ganar dinero.
Got a knack for being discreet like? There's money to be made, long as you keep your nose clean. Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see?
¿Qué hacéis?
Company policy. If it was up to me, I'd put the whole town 10 feet under, free of charge. 4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little.
Vale. Vale, volveré. Chao. Vale, tenemos una misión nueva. Vale, y estamos llegando. Vale. Vale. Trastear es mejorar las armas. Vale, 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 vale. Bien, 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 bien. Cantina. Comidas calientes. Música en vivo. ¿Esto es un bar? No. Vale, la cantina. Qué guay. Vamos a ir a hacer inventario. Ahora en diario. Tarea, un pequeño. Vale. Forastero en tierra extraña. La tenemos marcada. La cantina está aquí. Esto parece el ayuntamiento. Correctivo. Saltuna. Vamos a robar. Vale. Terrible.
Miss Holcomb, I explained this big lesson. The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
Vale.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
¿Cómo que no estáis llenando las de esto con pescado?
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
Esperaré a que hayáis
You were
terminado.
saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct.
Vale.
My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you? I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Vale, necesito reparar.
Only regulator we've got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing.
Vale.
I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying
Vale.
yourself in the process.
Soy todo oídos.
There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
Vale. ¿A qué te refieres con prácticamente abandonado?
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live
Gente que
there.
vive en ellos. Mira, dime qué tengo que hacer.
The people living in the botanical labs. They're deserters,
Desertores.
former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
Vale. ¿Y cómo distingo a Adelaide?
Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
Muy bien. ¿Qué pasa?
That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
Ya
My
veo.
dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove
Vale,
useful
perfecto.
to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Perfecto.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Vamos allá. Vale, tenemos acompañantes. Los acompañantes proporcionan apoyo en combate. Sus talentos potencian los tuyos. Aumentan capacidad de carga. Vale. Perfecto. Vayámonos. Venga. Entra.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's
salimos.
office before we talk. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Can we talk?
Sí, sí, podemos hablar.
Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me.
No me importa.
It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
Vale, esta está con ellos.
Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear, It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
Vale. La corporación esta son un poco nazis de... Tenéis que trabajar.
Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
¿Dónde puedo encontrarlo?
The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it, on account of it being the only clean thing.
Vamos a ver.
Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Tu padre era un tipo listo. Laboratorio botánico. Vamos para allá. Trabajador de las conservas. Vale, parece que está...
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Ease off the threats, friend. I'm going.
Boss's orders. We all got quotas to make.
Tú que hijo de puta. Déjalo en paz. A ver. Vamos aquí. Por aquí no se entra. Se entra... Esto debe ser la iglesia. Se entra por aquí. Vale, o sea...
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Está demasiado limpio. Parece que la sociedad es como supercapitalista. ¿Entras? Vamos a hablar.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity.
Sí.
And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
Vale.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town?
Vale. Vale,
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
Vale. ¿Qué opinas?
They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice?
Pues a mí sí. Inteligente.
Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp. So that's not a variable I can account for.
Vale. Entonces, ¿cuál es?
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
Vale. Eso es
Not
posible.
if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume.
Vale. ¿Y eso por qué?
One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book.
Vale.
It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious?
Llevamos ya 25 minutillos. Iré a buscar tu libro.
Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
Vale. Vale. Vámonos. Y no podemos guardar. Pero vale, tenemos información, un par de misiones secundarias. Yo estoy bastante en contra del capitalismo este, de que somos parte de un engranaje y si no funciona te sustituyen. Así que posiblemente me iré con los desertores. Vamos a hablar.
Yeah, huh?
Percepción.
That's on account of how I
Vale,
never
no la
met her.
conoció. Vale,
I don't rightly know.
vale.
She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception.
Eso
So when I was born, I got sent here.
es normal.
Well, I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers.
Vale. Ya hablaremos. Venga. Vale, pues lo dejamos por aquí. ¿Qué tenemos aquí?
Sure,
Ah, puedo darle órdenes.
I'm going. Be right there.
Y que vuelva. Perfecto. Vale, guay. Puedo dar órdenes y cosas al acompañante. Pues vale. Lo dejamos. Uy, que me ha dado un poco de sueño. Vamos a pausarlo, lo dejamos por aquí. Así que ahora sí, sin más dilación, gracias por ver este vídeo. Suscribiros si queréis, compartir. Nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. Chao.